Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to pickle pepperoncinis. And if you've never had homegrown pepperoncinis, you need to. They're way better than the ones in the store. And they're simple. They're easy to grow, they're easy to pick, they're easy to pickle, and they're way easy to eat. Let me show you how to do it. First step is to get yourself some pepperoncinis. These ones I picked from my backyard, and now I'm rinsing them in a bowl of water. It's kind of cool looking at these. That's overripe. When a pepperoncini turns red, you waited too long to pick it. I probably should have picked that about a week ago. This one's a little greener, and this I probably should have picked next week, but we'll work with it. This one is the color that you're used to, that nice yellow color. That's the most flavorful color of a pepperoncini, and that is when you want to pick them. But when you're a backyard farmer, you get to do what you want. When you grow your own food, you can pick it at any stage you want and try it. The red ones taste different than the yellow ones, and the green ones taste different than the red ones. So try them all and you'll enjoy it. So while I let my pepperoncinis sit on the counter, and before I clean my mason jars, I really need to get the water boiling on the stove for the hot water bath. Get your pot ready ahead of time, fill it full of water, and turn on that heat, because it's going to take a while to boil. While I'm waiting for the water to boil, I'm going to turn on the oven, because I like to sterilize my jars in the oven. If it's good enough for the medical industry to sterilize equipment, I think it works for canning. So I'm going to turn it to 235 degrees. I usually do it at 230 degrees, but I like to heat it up a little bit more so when I open the door I don't lose too much heat. And I'll put them in there for 20 minutes. Alright, the next thing we need to do is we need to wash all of our jars. Be very careful when you're doing this, because mason jars, when you're soapy, they are slippery, and these jars do not handle well being knocked around. They break very easily. You gotta wash the jars, the seals, and the bands. Put on a cookie sheet and pop them in the oven. Alright, the next step is to make the brining solution, or the pickling solution. I have 6 cups of water, 3 cups of a white distilled vinegar, 3/4 of a cup of sugar, and 2 teaspoons of pink Himalayan salt. Say that 3 times. I usually use brown sugar because I think it's a lot healthier for you, but I used all the brown sugar today pickling the zucchini, and I did a video on that, and you can see that as well, and I'll post a link to that. So the next step, since my water for the canning jars is boiling, I'm going to turn that down. Alright, I finally get to sit down. Now I think is what the most time-consuming part of this is, at least in my opinion, is. You actually have to slice each of the pepperoncinis open. That way, the pickling solution can get inside of it. Makes sense, doesn't it? And you just put a slit down each side. Be careful that you actually don't put a slit down your finger while you're doing it too. After a while, you can get pretty good at this. I like to use a little small, like a paring knife. Works really, really well. And hold it up really tight, really close, so you just have a little bit of the tip showing. Kind of as like a guide to where hopefully you won't go through the back side of the pepperoncini. And see how the pepperoncini, this one is a bend out, and that's kind of like a bend in. I do it on the bend out, like the spine. Straight down. Straight down. It's a really meticulous process. But I mean, you can kick on a movie, put on some tunes, just chill. I mean, you're waiting for the bottles to sterilize in the oven anyway. The brine's done. The water's boiling and ready to go. So, I mean, it's just a matter of me getting this done. And hopefully right around the time I finish this, the oven timer will go off. And we'll be golden. We'll just fill the jars with the pepperoncinis, put the brine on top of them, seal them up, pop them in the water bath for 20 minutes, and we'll be done. Another job well done. All right, we're in the home stretch. Got to fill the jars with the pepperoncinis. Helps if I actually get them in the jars. Now you could really want to pack this jar full, so don't be afraid to squish them down there. Unlike the zucchini that I did, where I actually wanted less in there, because I like to use the brine as a salad dressing. It's a really good flavor. And actually I like to use the brine in all of these pickles, or whatever I pickle, as a salad dressing. It doesn't matter if it's beets, cucumbers, zucchini, jalapenos, pepperoncini. It makes a really killer salad dressing. So it's always better to do 2 jars, even though I didn't use 2 jars, because the last thing you want to do is have extra peppers left over. I'd rather have a clean, sterile jar that I can use for something else, already ready to go. Same thing with the brine. Make extra brine. I'll stick it in that jar and just use it as salad dressing. It's really like, there's a really popular brand of seasoned rice vinegar out there, and this is way better, so just try it. I like to take a butter knife and kind of squish it down to get everything kind of moved around on the bottom. And then I'll push them down a little bit. Let me fish this out of here, it's a little hot. But let me kind of push that down for you. It's okay if you overflow, just add a little bit more. The most important thing is to wipe off your lid. There's a dry one. Give it a good wipe for the seal. Put the lid down. Hold it center. Keep it centered. Put the band on. And go straight over to the water bath. I always use tongs to get it in the water bath for safety. Put them in with the tongs. Take them out with the tongs. Take the jar. Hold them with the tongs, just like that, and slowly put it in the water bath. Thank you very much. If you learned anything or you like this, hit the like button. It really helps me out. Subscribe. It really helps me out. And I'll see you next time. Take it easy.